Go. Hi, I'm Becky Lodge, the founder of StartUp Disruptors, a startup and small business community on social media and also on Facebook. Today, we're just having a short chat with one of our lovely members, who you can see on screen here with us, Jarvis Clothier. And Jarvis will be talking today with me a little bit about her membership of StartUp Disruptors and also the benefits of the community, and also a little bit of a plug, which is always good for her business as well. So welcome, Jarvis. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Hello, thank you for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. So as one of the biggest advocates of our community and one of our most enthusiastic members, I thought I'd welcome you today just to have a quick chat about your business. So do you want to tell everybody that's watching a little bit about you and how you started up?
Yes, so hello everyone, my name is Jarvis. I am from Jarvis Dog Boarding and Training in Southampton, and we train family dogs for high net worth individuals and their families who would like to save time in the training process. I started up in 2014-15 full-time. Before that I was doing part-time work whilst working at a local university. So I was working as administrator, but I wasn't particularly happy with where my career was going. And somebody said to me one day, if you could do anything in the world and earn money for it, what would it be? And I immediately said, well, that's easy. I would look after dogs and I would train them all day. And they said, well, there is literally nothing stopping you from starting a business if you want to. And so I said, oh, okay, yeah, well, you know, I was already training them part-time, and I thought, why shouldn't I do it full-time? So with the help of various people along the way, I started putting in plans to quit my job and start boarding and training full-time. And it happened, and things have been very, very good. And when the start of this year was probably around the time that I sort of connected with StartUp Disruptors on a sort of low-key level. And I was in a place where in January I was totally fully booked and feeling very, very smug and happy that business was going to plan. And I booked in with a business coach of sorts to help me expand the business. And after a few sessions, I found myself feeling a little bit cheated and overwhelmed and unsure about how I was going to carry out this plan to expand. That there was, nothing included to kind of help me work any less. In fact, I was actually working more, like longer and harder hours. And I was doing everything myself. And I thought that that was just the way it was for small businesses. So in that January, obviously, Becky, I saw that you were doing your social media course in Fareham Innovation Centre. And I thought, well, that looks like a wonderful opportunity. So I went along to the last of you had 3 sessions, didn't you?
Yeah, it's 3 in total, yeah.
I went along to the last one, and I've watched the first 2 lives that you'd recorded and kept on Facebook. And I thought, well, I think I really need to go to this, because I was feeling quite confident about social media. But I just really needed some confidence and some clarification from an expert. So that was really lovely, and that's where we properly met. I think maybe we've met before at some other networking event somewhere, but I can't think what it was. And then, yeah, so then suddenly COVID and all of my very, very smug about being fully booked rubbish fell apart. And the only outlet that I could see supporting small businesses like mine on Facebook was StartUp Disruptors. So that was the only place, but I was seeing live videos coming up every day saying, this is going to be really serious, this pandemic, and this disease is going to be really serious, and the consequences for small businesses and the economy is going to be massive. And I wasn't seeing that being said anywhere else. And I just knew to my core that I had to jump on board. And, I felt like StartUp Disruptors was like a life raft, really. I could see what was coming, and, everybody was a bit unsure. Nobody really knew what to do or expect. But I knew that there was a level of urgency. So yeah, I remember seeing some of your videos, Becky, about that, and I just knew I had to be involved. And then after that process, I started putting together, thanks to one of your videos, actually, you said all businesses right now need to get revenue streams that can be done online or not in person, at least. And so that's what I started doing. So, I started building up online dog training, as well as online resources and e-learning courses for other pet businesses to help them through the pandemic as well. And I started working furiously on that. But I actually still had the mindset that I'd had from this previous business coach, which was that I was meant to be doing everything myself, and that I had to work really, really hard, and that sales would just sort of happen. But actually, there were fundamental issues in the systems and the processes of what I was doing that were holding me back. Now, I didn't know any of these until I joined StartUp Disruptors as a VIP. Thank God I did, because I was making so many silly mistakes. And even after going for nearly 4 years, I didn't know the help I needed. But the amazing thing is, there's lots of people out there that do have the answers, and it's just about finding them, really. So when I joined the VIP group, I had all these burning questions, and at last I was finally able to ask them and actually get a straightforward answer that was the right answer for what I was doing. So I think the biggest one for me was, we had that conversation, didn't you, Becky, about outsourcing. And I finally hired a PA, and, all this administration that was just weighing me down was lifted off my shoulders. And, there's someone to rely on, and someone to say, can you fill this out? Can you data entry that? Can you email so-and-so? Can you book in this? Can you chase up that payment? So that was a huge relief for me. And, it's amazing just having a few hours every week being freed up, what you can actually achieve, and the leads and the prospects that you can chase up, and the clients that you can serve and care for better, because you're not being weighed down by the simple stuff in your business. So that was very huge. But I think even on just a human level, being able to say, I know there's someone on the end of the phone or the end of the email that I can just turn to when things get tough in your business. I just don't think it exists enough for people. For me, I'm an only child, so working on my own is second nature. But it's not for a lot of people that run their own businesses. So I was doing that and just, beavering away, working hard, doing my usual thing. But actually, we all get to a point in our businesses, I think, where we can find ourselves totally isolated, because either our friends and family don't really understand what it's like to run a business or be on your own or not have colleagues, and your old colleagues from your other career, they can't really understand what you're doing because they still have a boss and they stayed and you left, and it's sort of an abandonment thing, I suppose, in some ways. And you find yourself realizing that you have literally nobody to turn to ask anything. And if you Google that, you just find massive companies that really are made to serve large corporates that don't cater to small businesses or micro businesses or the self-employed, just single people trying to, make a living and, have a secure future. So
yeah, I think one of the things that I wanted to create when I started StartUp Disruptors was a community that was a self-regulating community, but also a self-sustaining community. So what I suppose I mean by that in simple terms is just people that look after one another. And in the words of one of our other members, Mike Owens, who's another one of our VIPers, was a big business family, but actually a family that will accept everybody, warts and all. Sometimes you don't always agree, but most of the time you're really good together and you take care of one another. And that was actually what we were looking to create. And for ages people were like, oh, well, you're just another networking group. And I said, well, you fundamentally don't understand what it is that we do at all, if that's what you truly believe. And I think that there's always been that transactional point of view of, oh, we'll come in, we'll see what we can get out of it, and then we'll leave. And actually, sustainable businesses built over time, over decades, that get very big and very successful are always about the relationships that they build and the people that they look after. But yeah, I mean, if you were to say to somebody, why should they join us, what would be the sort of single biggest thing that you think we can solve? I mean, you mentioned social isolation before. What do you think, you know, the benefits are? Because at the end of the day, we don't charge a lot of money for our membership.
Yeah.
And your own words, you said, I just thought it was all too good to be true, because obviously we do community building, we do coaching, supporting of one another through our peer-to-peer network, but we also do advertising. You did an Instagram takeover for us to help you get your business exposed to another audience, and people just are, well, it's too good to be true. And I'm like, well, you can cancel monthly, so your maximum amount of exposure is $19.99 at any one time. But really, the kind of support that we're giving would be costing, you know, in the realms of tens of thousands of pounds. We don't want to tie people in, because if it's not right for people, then ethically that's not right either. So I would suppose my question to you would be, what if somebody's watching out there thinking this sounds like it's really cool, what would motivate them to be able to join? Because obviously it's great watching a video, but people do have to take action. So if you were doing it again, what would you do differently, I suppose?
What would I do differently? I would have joined sooner. If I'd known about you in the beginning, I would have joined straight away. I think for me, it's wonderful to know that there is someone I can turn to when I have a question, because I think for lots of entrepreneurs, especially like me, where there's, you know, they've got a few years experience under their belts and they've actually decided, oh, well, in the beginning, what I wanted was to do the thing I love and just to work until I retire. But actually, for lots of business people like myself, you get a few years in and you think, I could do more, and I could make something that lasts beyond my lifetime, and I could make something that employs other people and gives other people the opportunity to do the things they really love.
Yeah.
And to be able to get there, you need help. You can't do it on your own. You don't magically find the answers through Google or through the free stuff that people are peddling all over Facebook. But what you can do is, what I loved about your group, especially Becky, is not just that there are very nice people who will jump to help and can answer things and have amazing experience in their own industries, but it's also the fact that there's people like yourself there who have 30 years industry experience in sales, selling anything from £20 memberships to £20 million contracts, who actually has the answers. Because the truth is, there's a lot of groups out there that spout support, but really they will just give you the tiniest nugget that probably won't really get you anywhere. And what follows that is lots and lots of purchases of, you know, individual services from various people in the group to, you know, get where you need to be. But actually, what StartUp Disruptors does, it's £20 a month. You can cancel whenever you want if you don't like it, if you find that you can't afford it, or if you just find it's not for you. £20 could be hardly even your next takeaway. I mean, it's just such a small amount of money. Yeah. But actually, for me, the financial value, the return I've had from investing in the group is huge. I mean, you know, we're closed right now because of lockdown, unfortunately, but the money I made after I joined StartUp Disruptors, I mean, far outweighs the cost of the membership, which is one of the reasons I stay. I mean, it's practical for my business. I make money because I solve the problems in my business quickly. There's people there that I can pay to do the things that, you know, I don't want to do if I need to. But there's also a huge amount of mentorship, friendship, and connections that are worth so much more than money.
Yeah, I think, you know, that's a really nice note to finish on, and thank you so much for coming and talking about your experiences today. So thank you, Jarvis. If you'd like to just tell people how they can find you, where would be the best place for them to visit?
Best places to find me are LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. It's at Jarvis Dog Whisperer. You can also find me on Google. You can just type in Jarvis Dogs. I will come up right away. Have a look at the website. We have a VIP membership for DIYers who want to train their dog from home with all of my secrets. And we are taking deposits for puppies booking in for 2021. Some of them haven't even been born yet, so we're really quite excited to take them in.
And we're nuts about mutts in this group as well. We're nuts.
We are, yeah. We're
so,
big.
Yeah. So yeah, if you like dogs, then you're going to fit right in. You really are. And chocolate and chips, yeah. So for StartUp Disruptors, we do help startups to scale up, but we also help small business owners that have been established and might be feeling a little bit stuck and a little bit lonely. You can check us out on our website, which is startupdisruptors.co.uk/packages, or add in comments at the bottom on any platform that you're on, where you will see this this content shamelessly touted out by myself and Jarvis over the coming weeks, months and years. So hopefully you'll get sick of seeing our faces very shortly. But Jarvis, in the meantime, thank you so much for being a guest today. I really do appreciate it. And well done on your success and being part of our community. I've been absolutely in awe and totally inspired by everything that you've created for yourself. Partly with our help, but not really.
Very much so, very much so.
Not really. It's all down to you and the work that you put in as well. So thank you so much for that. We really do love having you as part of this community. So yeah, take care. Have a great day, my friend. Bye-bye for now.